So today's topic, 4 painful truths about the nomad life. And I'm talking about full-time, full-blown nomad life. It's not for the faint of heart. It's been glamorized a lot on social media. It's becoming more and more popular. Work from anywhere, remote work is a lot more normalized now. So more people are considering it. And I've been at this life for now over a year. Most days I think it really suits me. But even now, I still struggle with a few things, and I think it works better for people with certain personality traits and preferences. Just want to say, it's not for everyone, and I want to be totally transparent and honest with you. I don't want anybody to kind of go into nomad life and then say it's not all it's cracked up to be because they don't have the full story. I think it's really important to have all the facts and then just be really honest with yourself about what you're looking for and who you are and what you like and what you don't like. Do you really want to be a nomad? So number 1, my first painful truth is affordability. Can you afford it? So when you live traditionally with rent or a mortgage, your costs are fixed every month. Your bills are more or less the same. But this really isn't true for nomads, especially if you're the type who's staying in hotels or Airbnbs and traveling to different cities and there's different costs of living. You can have every intention of sticking to a budget, but your expenses can vary very wildly. If you don't have an extra cushion, if you have an expensive month, if accidents happen or you have unintended circumstances, you'll have to absorb that and make way for that and maybe even cut down on some extraneous spending and have to restrict yourself. Can you handle that? I have a decent sized cushion that I work with. Nonetheless, I really try to stick to a budget. Believe me, I use all those avenues to save money. Credit card hacking, travel points hacking, loyalty points. I've even negotiated with some of my Airbnb hosts to save money. It does require a lot of time and research. My lodging budget is $2,000 a month. I've said that before, and I've had months where my budget is totally out of control. It can be a little scary when you look at your balance sheet, but I really try to take this carefree approach that it's only money. I'll make more money later. I'll spend less later. I really can't worry about it too much right now because that'll cut into my, my emotional well-being. And I want to enjoy where I am. If you can't hack that, if you don't have wiggle room in your budget, if you're going to fall apart, if you have a big bill, nomad life might not be for you. I mean, think of the times you've been traveling and something's gone wrong. Like your Airbnb cancels on you, you get a flat tire, you get in a fight with your friend, and now you have to leave where you're staying together and go out on your own. Unexpected costs come up, unexpected emotions will be along for the ride. Can you embrace that? My second painful truth about nomad life is about being alone. How do you feel about being alone? If you're going into nomad life by yourself, inevitably you will spend a lot of time alone. Yes, I meet a lot of people, but I'm doing this alone, me and my dog. The questions to ask yourself would be, are you comfortable interacting with and trusting strangers? How much do you want or need to lean on friends or travel partners? Are you okay doing things, like perhaps risky things, alone? Public transportation, going hiking, walking around in a city you don't know, meeting up with people on the internet. Are you comfortable with that? I don't think any of these things are inherently risky. I know some people do, and that's fine because we're talking about being honest with each other and being realistic. I travel alone, but I spend, usually a few nights per week with other people. And it is important to me. It's really important to me to make connections and make friends. But the nomad life, by definition, is largely lived alone. That's okay with me, but is it okay with you? If you can't really fathom being alone, is nomad life for you? Number 3, routines. How often do you like to change your environment? Or do you need a routine? Do you thrive on routine? Nomads are people on the move. I change cities. I change home bases all the time, really often. Typically every few weeks or so, but here and there I've been known every couple days. And I never really get to settle down, to settle in, to unpack, because then I'm packing up again. This can get repetitive, but I still like the idea of being able to get up and go. And if you can't stomach that, if you need comfort and routine and stability, then the nomad life might not be for you. Also, the nomad life is not really like an endless vacation or party. Adulting and decompressing, paying your bills online, and researching places to stay and all of that. I can strike a balance, but every day is going to be different. So what's right for you? And then number 4, The fourth painful truth is it's chaotic. How comfortable are you with volatility and not knowing what's coming? Before you decide to be a full-blown nomad, you really should experiment with it. That's what I did. I did a ton of traveling, domestic and international. I was alone, then I was with my dog. I went by car and by plane, and I went for short periods and I went for long periods. And I stayed hotels and hostels and Airbnbs and at friends' houses. And I even did car camping. Like, I slept in my car. I experimented a lot because I wanted to understand what's my temperament, what do I like, how am I gonna best live this life? And that's really how I developed a strong sense of self, of trusting that things are gonna be okay, of getting comfortable with the unknown and the chaos. And all of those experiences really add to my confidence level, brought me to this point where here I am going out into the world, courageous and brave to take on every new day. But even now, as an expert nomad, I sometimes feel like my life is a little out of control, and that can be stressful. I don't know some days what to do next, where I'm going, where I'm sleeping, what direction am I driving. That really doesn't bother me to an extent because I know I'll always find a place. It'll always work out. Sometimes the mystery and the drama of how it unfolds makes for a good story. So in conclusion, people can change their surroundings, they can change their habits, and they can change the company they keep, but the common denominator is going to be you. So if your discontent is with yourself, nomadism is really not the solution. Number one, I want you to ask yourself, what do you really want about this life? Why are you attracted to it? Experiment, try it on a small scale, see what suits you, and then, always remember you can change course, reverse course, nothing is permanent. If it doesn't feel right, go another direction and try something else. Happy nomading. And then, of course, if there is any topics that you want to see next, drop me a comment. And remember, you can always DM me at juliedevivre on Instagram with questions about the nomad life, suggestions on where to go, all of those things. Au revoir, my friends. Mwah.